are live. RGN European Closed Qualifiers. We got Unleashed versus Team Menace. And as you can see, starting off on Dust 2, I am Sprawl by my side. The one and only Laser Jesus. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good. Game crash. Saw you, bud.
Oh, man. Talk about, yeah, what can you do?
Good start.
All
Good
right.
start.
Exactly. Anyhow, Pissed the Round is live, and we can see Unleashed. They are starting on the CT side. This is Menace's map choice, is my understanding. So, it is Unleashed opting to start on the CT side, and there's going to be a quick start to things already. T's dropping Sunny in lower dark. Bomb's been dropped and has been spotted, so they are going to have some knowledge about... Ooh, and a nice shot up mid is going to create a two-person advantage early on. Unleashed, seemingly doing not a heck of a lot, just posting one player up on catwalk and watching into lower dark, and then having a player watch mid. So that's worked out well for them. Now, where did the T's go? They've got two actually coming out long, but the bomb is still in dark. Interesting. So the idea, I guess, they're sending Jules on an A platform. He's going to make a lot of noise, and I imagine they'll suspect, oh, T's takes him down literally immediately. So no time at all in that fake. And now it's going to be left up to only two T's. Team Menace, they've got 35 seconds to make something work, but it looks like Unleashed is, they're kind of done playing the waiting game. So coming into lower
shanked him too.
Yeah, they got one knife in. So it's up to Reflex. And yeah, the odds a little bit against him in this scenario. We get taken down by Darty in upper dark. So first pistol round go to Unleashed. And that's a flawless one. And like we were actually saying before this started, Unleashed in our first Intercontinental tournament came in 4th and ended up taking Orbit to a very close lower bracket match, 16-14, getting dropped out there, taking 4th. So definitely a good team coming into this tournament.
That to me is where I saw a potential threat in the scene, is when they took Orbit to the very end. Some of the strategies they were implementing, very creative. So I'm excited for this one. Got the Swedes versus the Finns here. And Team Menace this round, gonna go for a mid to B. A couple of their players not buying armor, and they're not buying a lot of Tech 9s. For Menace here, I'm not liking this. They're coming out mid still though, but Unleashed is holding just fine. They do manage to get in the bomb site, and they flank a player. So Darty is gonna allow this bomb to get planted. So Menace, I don't know how they got it done, especially after Unleashed got those first two opening kills, but they have claimed the bomb site for now. But they are getting pinched. So I'd like to see them go for some sort of aggression, because otherwise they're just going to get overwhelmed very soon. And Menace makes it outside the site. That's Joel's. Try to molly him out, but he's at the doors. If he could just beat the one player, he can't do it. Doesn't even go for it. He's going to hang on to his UMP and some armor. Is Unleashed going to chase? No. So they're going to have a UMP, and they did get the bomb down. So he could drop this UMP to his teammate Juhab, and then everybody else guns up. And yeah, I think that's what we are going to see. So already a force buy situation for both teams here.
Yeah, you can see that we do have M4s across the board for the CT side. The T side, they've got a UMP rifles. Joel actually utilizing a scout. Looks like he's going to head towards long, but Sunny's in lower dark already. And obviously, good second round coming out from Team Menace. Obviously, they'd like to win those, but at the same time, ooh, Darty. Speaking of aggression, he's going to come up into upper dark, find a frag, falls back. Now a man advantage for the CT side. Can't really afford to let the CT just kind of waltz in like that. I believe that Juhab was posted up, but maybe not quite. Yeah, just wasn't on point for that shot. And I think he was the one UMP player.
He did a little damage to him, but M4 is going to beat that.
It's understandable. But still 4 T's left. They've got Reflex actually fairly lit up. 54 HP. He's actually going to be leading the charge onto Catwalk, and the way they're playing mid and Catwalk, it makes me think they're just going to kind of juke back and forth. They do have 2 smokes still. They could make a mid to be happen, and actually they're just going to drop the mid to be smoke. This is something I like to see. Even if you're not going to use it, you force a reaction out of the CT side. So they don't necessarily have to go with it. As you can see, they're pushed up Cat right now.
Yeah, and the scout goes down. Menace was trying to have him leading the site. Now the quick pivot back to mid. HMP already in position to stuff that temporarily. But now this mid to B, it's cut off Unleashed to where they only have one in the B bomb site. But Darty from the B site gonna finish off Sunny. So up 3-0 quickly is Unleashed here. And Menace, since they got the bomb down and saved that UMP, it prompted them to go for a force buy last round. So already gonna be into this 4th round before we see a full buy between these two teams. And Unleashed, money not too great thus far. They still have Uzu with an SMG here. And Unleashed, a simple 2-1-2 setup. Early frag by Tees, realizing that they forced up, realizing he has the ability to bully them mid with the ranged weapon, and only having pistols and Menace. And they're rushing up Catwalk, and they forgot about the bomb, so they are way ahead of themselves here. Even if they take the bomb site, they're not going to get any money from it. But Unleashed gonna finish that round with authority there. Only a single frag for the Menace side. And now the first gun round. We were talking about this yesterday. I'm just looking at the map bans. Menace banning Cobble and Unleashed banning Train. So both of the maps that that are a breath of fresh air are now gone. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of those bans for a little while until we see teams starting getting comfortable with it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we saw yesterday how Space Soldiers was able to choose Cobble and went against Kaz for a 16-6 scoreline. So for them at least, and I think some of the teams that aren't necessarily favored just when you look at a standard map pool, those are maps that they can have the ace up their sleeve, if you will. And we're talking about, like you said yesterday, that kind of deal. But yeah, I agree in that there's probably going to be a lot of vetoes for those maps, and anybody that doesn't, expect a bit of a surprise there. So T is actually taking out mid right now, and they're going to drop Darty. Uzu's still alive in CT spawn, and they haven't smoked it off just yet. Hold that thought, as now they have. He's going to boost up and over, though, and actually finds a frag. So I find that the CT smoke and mid to B and such, it used to be so much more effective, and now everybody just boosts up over the smoke. There's no one that doesn't know how to get on top, and it honestly just makes it that much more difficult. You can't afford to just, like, leave CT open. Even if you smoke it, you still should have someone watching it or having at least the corner of their eye on it. But anyhow, they are going to be slowly moving out mid.
Even a flashbang can do some damage to that player. Just one flashbang will change the round there.
Exactly. So they are going to be taking out mid. And again, just challenging Ozo. They do have another smoke if they want to utilize it. Again, goes down immediately. But they are taking up Catwalk, and they get a nice frag on the T's. So 15 seconds to get the bomb set.
And that's the strength of Dust, too. Even if you're out middle, you can easily pivot back to the Catwalk, jump up that cat box, but they got to get the bomb down soon. They are going to have enough time to do it. But Unleash has been hanging out to middle this entire round. That's Landy from the pit. And so Menace has to hold on to Catwalk. If they lose Catwalk, this round is going to get real tough, real fast for them. But both members of Unleashed fall, leaving only HMP with his AWP here. And, oh, he's getting pressed from spawn. Needs to hang on to this weapon. Take a look at the team's money. It's going to be, if he loses this, they're not going to be able to buy. If he keeps it, probably going to force up. So he goes down. Now we're going to be seeing a save from the Menace side. First round on the board, or for saving for Unleashed, but for Menace, first round on the board. They have the dual op set up here as well. Azlac has a quick long spawn, and no, Unleashed is going to be force buying here. So betting a lot this round, Unleashed, and without their AWP, they actually got one of those too. So, having everything they want besides a couple rifles. Where is Uzu going to play this Mag 7? He's going to be pressing up long. If nobody comes long, this Mag 7 is going to be pretty useless. But they do have one member there for Menace. That's Azlac with the AWP. So Menace trying to use this dual op setup to their advantage here. Trying to take these long-range fights, controlling both long and the catwalk. Menace had success with their mid and B rotations early onto T's, but HMP just with a pixel shot, trading for his teammate. So Menace still just taking control of this middle. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of this from them. Looking for HMP. Op duel, both miss each other at mid. Eventually, Menace is going to have to start opening up here. For Unleashed, this is a good spot for that Mag 7. We see Uzu on the CT spawn with this Mag 7 and the boost spot. And this could be pretty devastating. If he times this right and Menace tries to come up catwalk, this could be real bad for them.
And he's going to hop up, and he takes one shot, but he's at distance at this moment. So doesn't time it exactly. I like it as he actually does get a shot in there, but only 30 damage. Now they're pushed up to elbow. This is where he can really land some damage, but that Molotov is going to force him off. So 18 HP left. Good play by the T's, as that's quite honestly one of the only ways to deal with it. Luckily, they're on 128 tick, and those hitboxes jumping. They're a little bit better. But it's going to be Joel's left in 1v2, and he's got the plant. The plant is for a catwalk right now, and he's going to be facing now in a 1v1. Uzu goes down, and There's no trade on the frag. It's just going to be HMP staring down the double boxes, hoping that Joel's is going to peek out. So the op duel, and both going to fire shots, but they both whiff, and now up to the pistol game. And time ticking away. That's going to be the end of that. He did have a kit in hand, but needed to get that frag ASAP. And Jules, that's a big way to end the round for him. A 3K to finish things off. And now Menace is on a nice anti-eco here, as we've got 2 rounds to their favor. And now against an anti-eco, you'd suspect that they should be able to get this one as well and even up the scoreline even closer. But an interesting map thus far. You see Unleashed go up 4 rounds, and now Menace with a little bit of a battle back. I was a little worried with the double op setup last round, purely because, especially with the new changes, the aggressive op a little bit more difficult to work. But hold that thought, as we see Menace just come in and they just demolish the B-bomb site. So bomb should be set here in a moment, and the remaining CTs trying to flank this player in suicide. They will be able to take him down.
And that's excellent timing by Menace to go with their B take. Unleashed, they know they 4-spot the last 2 rounds, and on the 3rd, they're going to have to save. And that's a good time to hit B, unless Unleashed stacks it, which Menace has eyes on mid. It's a really easy site to take when you're only dealing with pistols. Unleashed did buy 1 flashbang to try to pop flash the entrance, but Menace just walked right through it. Superior weaponry, tough for Unleashed to hold, and they make their presence known in the B-bomb site. So in the back of Unleashed minds, Menace showing they're willing to just rush that B site early. So battle of momentums here. Unleashed taking the first 4, Menace now the next 3. Still can't develop much of an economy yet for the Menace side, but they're working on it. And Unleashed looking to fight back here. No ops on the side of Unleashed, just 1 for Menace. And Unleashed double boosting catwalk. Nobody at drop down or suicide for Menace. They're bringing 3 of their players long. How are they gonna take this? Nobody from Unleashed is playing close up long, only having 1 player at the car. And he has no backup at all. I suppose his teammates from catwalk can flash for him, but he's got to dodge that flash anyways. But once again, Unleashed getting an opening frag over towards this B side. And Joel's being posted up. You shouldn't allow that if you're the terrorist. So Menace going to have to recuperate here. Have been allowed to come out long and drop that player into pit. And he's going to be just poking into this A site. The rest of Menace now can start constricting around the catwalk. So if Unleashed doesn't hold the catwalk, they're pinched inside of the A site. That's something you want to avoid at all costs. It's a strength of Dust 2. You can work up long, get a player to pit, follow everybody else back to catwalk. That's what they're trying to do, but Darty is having none of it. Takes 2 frags, and they still have control of catwalk. So now this leaves this long player in an awkward position because he has to fall back and assist his teammate, or his teammate has to come back and assist him. And that looks to be the plan. So Azlak needs to get something going with this AWP at long, because he's been sitting stagnant at pit for a while.
Yeah, it's top mid there, so they should see the bomb. And ooh, Azlak, what a nice peek into CT spawn. Takes down 1 and gets things a little bit closer to even. 3v2 as there's a player, Lande. He's going to be pushed up at quad box. Ooh, he whiffs a huge, pretty much all of his clip though, and won't be able to take down any of the T's, but it's going to be T's and HMP. They're going to finish things off. So Unleashed, another round in their direction, the 5th, and that comes after 3 in a row from the T side. And we can see that there's going to be a little bit of money, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to see a force up on the T side. They've got 3 players able to buy, and with those Tech 9s, the very least, you can armor up, get Tech 9's full nade set, and honestly, that's pretty viable to be alongside. But they are just going to drop AKs, and they'll just rifle up nonetheless. So instead of kind of affording some of those more nades. That being said, they've got a pretty good nade set, so my math is just terrible. That's okay. Par for the course. Gonna have Azlak once again AWPing, and looks like he's heading towards long here, but Ozo actually stops them, at least one of them, as they try and come out. They don't put any damage onto him, most importantly, and he's able to fall back out along.
Hit nothing but the wall.
Exactly. He's going Neo from the Matrix, and once again, he's gonna get another frag here. They're just stuffing this CAD take, and now they just swap back towards long and finish that off as well. So Unleashed dealing with that split A like they were on an eco, when that was actually a complete buy-up from the Menace side.
Yeah, and Azlak there, 0 for 3 with some ostensibly easy op shots in my eyes. I don't know what his circumstances are for missing those, but both those frags he missed were trades that his teammates, he should have assisted them. So maybe put that AWP down. HMP, that's 2 at the start of the round, just crippling Menace. Really tough to recover from that. Narrowly misses the 3rd. So already before Menace initiates their catwalk take, they're down 2 players. Eating a smoke, flashbangs on the way in. Not a single frag coming in for Menace and just hiding at the catwalk. I don't think they know he's here, so Sunny might actually be able to do some sneaky play. This player from Unleashed teased right on the other side of the box. Little does Sunny know it's a one-on-one. Oh, tease. He's got to be jumping out of his seat right there. How did he get there? And this is going to allow him to get the bomb down. Just Sunny recovering what he can, salvaging this round. And don't tell me he's going to do this. He's brought it down to a 1-on-3. He's got some decent positioning, but he misses the next one. That should be it. Trying to get the player down on catwalk, and then he gets enveloped around. Sunny, though, did a decent job at the end of the round for Menace. Even though they lost that, considering the start, it was horrible. So for Sunny to get the bomb down and a couple of kills, that's really nice.
You see T is just saying, chat, ruffle my pants. I have a feeling that that scared the hell out of him, and
oh, yeah,
I don't
man.
blame him one bit.
I say he jumped out of his seat. That would be so terrifying. That's what scares you the most. When you think, you're safe, the only place he could be is here. This is where I'm watching. My teammates got my back, and then all of a sudden you get shot inside of the face, and it's terrifying. It's very loud.
Yeah, and you'd like to think that you're always prepared for anything, but there definitely is scenarios that you just paint in your head that you know exactly. That's just how you are as a player. You try and think of the potential areas where you might be hit from, and that just wasn't in his head for where he thought he was vulnerable. So poor guy will go down. And yeah, like you said, 2 frags in a bomb plant in a 1v5. Can't really go wrong with that. And the T is trying to take through mid double doors. HMP, he's got this on lockdown though. He's going absolutely nuts. You just repeat that 4 times over again, and 4 frags in his favor. Now he's actually hunting for this ace, and Jules might actually walk through the smoke and away. Oh, he's gonna go down. So
the greed.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's exactly what that was. You don't walk halfway up mid with an op when you've got 2 rifles behind the double doors behind you, if it's not just kind of greed for that 5th frag. So as much as he wanted it, he goes down, and now it's a 2v1, and you know what, Jules, he's got a position where he can't see it, but he actually has a free A bomb site. If he just ran up catwalk right now, he would be able to get the plant down, and you can see Tease and Darty. There's 2 ways they can play it, in that you can play one on one side, one on the other, but then you're obviously just taking a duel and hoping that that one-on works out, or you do enough that you can have that other player retake something to that effect. But the other way, obviously, it's the way they're doing it now. They stick together. As soon as the bomb has been set, they both have kits. They'll hustle on over, but it does mean that Jules will get a free bomb plant, and I'm sure he's all right with that. So
that's the strength of it. You either prevent the bomb plant, but in turn you're potentially giving him 2 1 versus 1s, or you go for this 2 versus 1 thing after plants the bomb, but now eliminating any chances of the trade not occurring. Oh, but they're just jumping up. Joel's here. He's got to drop the heads right away, otherwise he's going to get overwhelmed. But Tease is going to take him out. So, Unleashed going up 8-3. They do give Menace the bomb plant. But considering their round loss bonus, that is going to give them the ability to buy. Not fully, not with all the nades they would have liked, but Unleashed is starting to pull away, economically speaking. And HMP is starting to pull away with that AWP. That's, what, 7 frags in the past 2 rounds for him? Almost got that ace. So, they need to find a way to shut him down at middle. Problem being, they don't have any ops to do it with. So they just have to smoke him out. That's their only option at this point. Or they just avoid him entirely. That's something else they could try to do. But HMP is now playing over at the B-bomb site. Unleashed giving him a different look. Going up the catwalk here. Juhab for Menace down lower B. Trying to look for any pushes there. But if he peeks his catwalk, Unleashed is going to be posted on. Unleashed opting to hold catwalk instead of long. Problem with this is if Menace works up long, gets one guy in the pit, and then rotates back and tries to hit catwalk. If Unleashed doesn't hold catwalk, in theory, that should be the round. But there's HMP, just being a bully with that op at mid. No answer for the Menace side. Narrowly misses another one. This man, they're just feeding them frags here. But still trying to work up cat. Menace trying to give him the 0-1-2. They still have a member in pit, but they have to try to fight for catwalk control. And now Unleashed can focus all of their attention on Cat. As long as Menace doesn't try to work that player up long, all Unleashed has to do is control Cat, and all Menace has to do is take Cat. Problem being, there's smokes, there's Molotovs, but they're going to have about 30 or so seconds left to try to take up this Cat, and 2 players posted up here for Unleashed.
Yeah, Tease goes down immediately. Luckily for him, he's got a teammate there that ends up getting 2 frags. Unfortunately, though, they are going to go down, and it's going to create a 2v2, so I was... Honestly, Tease holding that aggressive angle with 12 HP was maybe asking a little bit much, biting off a little bit more than he could chew. And now, again, leaving his teammates in a bomb plant position where it's planned for long. They've got, they don't have an op in pit, so it's definitely going for them. And they do have an op in their possession as well, so HMP might be able to make something work, but they look to be trying to deal with this player on site. And HMP, with the way he's just jump shooting right now, this is not looking good for Unleashed. He's only got a little bit of time, and again, with the kit in hand, he does have a bit, but no, Reflex is just going to peek over, and honestly, that didn't look like they were going to make it work at all. I'm not going to lie. They were just trying to jump peek onto this, on the platform, and if the player for the T side is smart on the platform, as much as he wants to get you on those jumping headshots and such, he just stays put. They've got a player in pit that's a perfect crossfire, so I think maybe Unleashed realized that, but instead of maybe saving, they just decided to continue going for the shot. I don't know. Bit of an odd play, I'm not going to lie, from Unleashed, and they're not able to get that retake.
Yeah, I think they have to have the opper go for the pick in pit, and then just have the other guy watch as much of the opper's back as he can, because either that player from the T in sight is either in sight or he's on catwalk. There's the 2 places he could be. Obviously, Menace is going to have one in pit, considering HMP didn't see anybody cross. And that's the strength of that strategy on the terrorist side. If you can just take the catwalk while you have that player at long, it sandwiches the players in sight. So Unleashed was forced to play on catwalk like that. There's no other way they could have played it. I mean, I suppose they could have tried to held it from the site, but one flash from long, and they're ruined. So that catwalk engagement, very important. But Menace now grouped up towards the B bomb site. 1 at long for them, the rest over towards B for Unleashed. They do have 2 players here. HMP with that AWP, been very deadly, straight venomous with this gun thus far. And there's a start for this round. His teammate gets taken down right away, and HMP misses the next shot, but he doesn't miss the third. This man's gonna go off yet again. HMP with 3, but the trade from Azlak. Well, Menace still with a chance, albeit a slight one. So 1 versus 1 on the bomb site. He should not be able to get this bomb down, but Tease might wait for his teammates. He's not going to do it. He's going to take him up and get the op for his teammate. And that's an important weapon to recycle, considering how on point HMP has been thus far.
Yeah, those shots in the base site were pretty nice. And, like you're saying, he even missed a shot there. So, played the peekaboo. Head down game, just crouching behind the box in between shots, and works out pretty well for him. Menace now once again on Eco. Just got pistols, and looks like he might go for another challenge here now. It will be them moving into lower dark, and I suspected they would want a different look at this kind of play. They're going to be just heading out mid, though, without a smoke. Bit of a death sentence, as it is an Eco, but they will be able to take down Teasy. He's hoping for another frag, but was very, very low. So it leaves Joel's now in a situation that to try and maybe get another frag or 2, but not going to be able to be the case. So they don't get a bomb plant. They only get the one frag in, and again, they just storm out mid. And honestly, I like the eco rounds where you put a little bit more thought into it. You don't have to necessarily give up a full, like, a strategy that you'd like to utilize on a rifle round, but get a smoke or a flash, maybe have one, and then and utilize it. Or just rush straight into a site, but in a situation where you go middle, and even if they let you out the double doors, you've got players all the way over to A that are able to see you, and players all the way over to B. So we are in the next round, though, and is the last round of the half. They've pulled out some Galils and such on that T side. 3 of them pushed out long right now, but looks like they're going to take some significant damage, and they don't get anything for it either, other than just that map real estate.
Now, Unleashed doesn't know how good they have it. Or, I mean, Menace doesn't know how good they have it in the A bomb site right now. If they split it, Unleashed doesn't have control of the thing. They have nobody at, like, they have one player at car for long. They're trying to do this little crossfire at long, but it's a very dangerous game to play because you don't have positioning on catwalk or long, but all the frags for Tease. What a peek, and his teammate lands, assists him as well. It was looking real nice for Menace. The way that was being played from Unleashed, again, dangerous game. They do win the round, but having nobody in control of catwalk or nobody pressed up at long, if you lose those duels, that's the sight. And you have nobody to assist your remaining teammate there, assuming you have 3 players at the A site. And then the retake for your teammates is damn near impossible because they have to both fight off catwalk as well as long. But Unleashed do it anyways. Tease with a huge peak. But 11-4 coming into the next one. And keep in mind, this is Menace's map choice.
Yeah, this is Menace's map choice, so a little bit scary for them here. Cash is going to be Unleashed map choice, so we will be moving on to that after this map. And then the third random map that comes out of the ones, the bands that came out were Cobble and Train, like we were talking about earlier, those newer maps. So Overpass has been pulled as that random third. So a little knife for size once they make it there. But we want to let you guys know once again that this game brought to you by Zowie. And I'll just do a little short information about them. They actually just released a new mouse, ZA series mouse. So check that out. It is for kind of the more grip and claw-like people. So I actually, I want to see if I can get my hands on one, because that's the kind of player I am. So interesting to see. It's got some nice features on it. So check that out. Again, the ZA series, ZowieGear.com. But Pistol Round Live, we've got 3 of the Terrorists Unleashed are going to be pushed out long. Looks like fourth is going to be following suit. We've got one that's just exited out of Lower Dark, and doesn't look like he's actually looking to take up Cat, not immediately anyhow. And speaking of long, Aslak will find a single frag. They're able to trade back, but it will be a 3v3 as now getting the bomb set. They've still got 2 players on this A platform to deal with.
Problem is for Unleashed, they do get the bomb down, but they have no positioning. They have nobody on long. All they have is one guy left on the ramp. He's got to try to create some 1 versus 1s, but Menace is playing this so passively, and then he gets rushed down. I love the fact that the Menace player just stayed posted up at the boxes on catwalk. If he goes down, the Unleashed player there can just reposition, take some more 1 versus 1s by repositioning around the boxes in the site. But Menace take the pistol round, and they needed that 1.5 chance here. At a huge deficit, Unleashed with a nice CT side. But Menace now looking to do the same. Unleashed, are they buying up here? They might be going for the save here and then AKing up the next round because they got the bomb down. I think that's what we're going to be seeing. And Unleashed, not buying too much. Just a couple flashbangs. We might be seeing a mid to B bust here. But oh no, that's their nade player. So everything falls apart. They got to try to look for those nades, and they do recover them. But already down 1. There's the pop flash, punished for even flashing. And once again, the terrorists forget the bomb. It's kind of deja vu that's occurring here. But I suppose everything fell apart in that round, and the bomb is the least of Unleashed concerns after just... They can't even take out lower B. They can't even get to Xbox without Menace being all over them. A very clean round from Menace, and now there's the buy I was talking about. If you get that bomb down pistol round, you can save the next, buy very lightly, and then you have the advantage on the third.
Yeah, and luckily Juhob realizes this. He's going to upgrade from, I think he was rocking that MP7, so decides to upgrade. So they will have 2 M4s on the side of the CTs, but 2 FAMAS as well. And speaking of FAMAS, it's actually going to be Sunny that opens up with things. Getting a frag near the B site into Upper Dark, but as I say that, Unleashed will be able to find a frag of their own, so a 4v4 as they take up Catwalk, and it's actually a scout player that'll go down as like he was attempting some sort of shenanigans on Catwalk, pushed up with that scout in hand. He can do some nice jump play, peeking to Lower Dark and such, but not in this round he won't. And now if they take onto the same bomb site, they actually literally get the bomb site for free. The only player they have to worry about, again, Juhob is going to be playing long, so he's right outside of long A double doors. The bomb carrier actually will rotate off the long A position, so they're honestly not going to have any issue with long until once they're actually getting the bomb set. They won't necessarily have a place just to retreat, plan it for long, but they're coming from Catwalk. They're going to be planning for Catwalk. They have complete control of that real estate, and that's all that matters right now. Tease, though, getting a bit aggressive for my liking and actually goes down before the retake take place.
And all this goes down to, we saw this yesterday, if you don't control Catwalk here as a terrorist side, you lose. If banking everything on it. They lose both their players, just AWP in a very sneaky position with the scout. That is not a good place for the scout. That's the problem with holding Catwalk. If they had a 4-on-4, right? The bomb got planted. If that mid player goes down, peeking, he doesn't. All he has to do in that situation is survive. Play very passively. You can play at the back of middle even. Don't take any fights there because if the CTs, all they have to do is crunch onto Catwalk. Long is already there, so half the retake at A is done already, just because Unleashed didn't fight for it at all. So they try to bring everybody on the Catwalk. Problem being, now they're getting pinched from two sides. A couple flashbangs and they're screwed. So Unleashed, I would have liked to see him peek that scout long in that scenario and not peek the op, or not peek the guy middle. But Menace, take an important one because that was a buy up from Unleashed. But off to a good start here. Unleashed on their eco round, buying a little bit, able to get out middle, get a frag, and get out smoothly. Nicely done there. And now splitting up. Trying to pressure up the Catwalk. Oh, member of Menace out of position. Unleashed getting 2 kills before Menace responded at all. But beginning to stabilize. Oh, Juhop from the site. So Unleashed was having a good round at the beginning, but now 3-on-2, and they haven't been able to recover any of these guns that they've taken down. And that's a very key point. But we have a member creeping up long, and if this CT isn't ready here, it's Juhop. Okay, he does peek it, so he should be safe. But the bomb is starting to creep into this B bomb site. Ooh, he might get in here.
Yeah, I think he's actually, will turn around at the right moment, and we'll feel the wrath of the Deagle, though. Takes one shot to the body, drops down to 17, and he's going to peek out through the window, but can't get that under control to find the frag, so Menace able to survive with 3, and unfortunately Sunny, that frag in middle. It looked like he heard them in lower dark, and he was pushed up at the double doors, and he really just wanted to not be in that spot anymore. He literally turned tail and ran, and where he died was right at the corner. He was trying to get around the corner, but his back was turned to double doors. So they literally just peeked double doors and just tagged him and took him down, and he had no chance. So, poor guy. That's rule number 1. If opponents are near, never turn your back. It's true in martial arts as well as Counter-Strike, so you definitely don't want to give them that advantage, but we see a 1-for-1 trade going on here. HMP utilizing that AWP's back in up in business here, but we'll have another op on that CT side to deal with. Aslak hanging on to that. He's actually posted up on Catwalk, so they want to take that real estate. They'll have to go through him, but at the moment they're actually looking like Long is still a bit of the focus. They do have plenty of time to play with. They're just waiting for some sort of regression. It looks like they've smoked off CT spawn. And again, I like this kind of, if you've got the nades to work with, I like the random just kind of smoke off CT spawn because, again, it prompts a reaction of the CT side. Very rarely will you see a team not do anything as soon as CT spawn smoked off because you can't really afford to do nothing, especially if the strat's coming out.
Aggression over towards the B site, man. That's so crazy by Menace that they did that. Unleashed staying way too quiet. Menace says, okay, we're going to take this gamble. If we win it, we're up. If not, we'll probably trade. But you're precisely right on that mid to B smoke. When you get when you throw that down, the CTs are going to throw something back, at least something, and then you can always go back to throw another smoke there. And by then, the CTs that's playing that position shouldn't have as many nades. But Unleashed looking to recoup this round. Uzu with the entry onto Sunny at B. That is big, but they're refragged by reflexes there. They're trying to get the bomb down. He has to get it down. He's running out of time, but he's getting overwhelmed. Now just him remains one-on-one. Reflex can't stop the plant. But he's going to be peeking around the corner. Uzu, how is he going to take this fight? Little does he know he's right there in Menace. Keep their streak alive. And he's going to go back and grab an AWP. That is a whole lot of money for Menace. And a big one-on-one for Reflex. That round was so key because Unleashed, that's 2 gun rounds now, or forced by and a gun round that they could have won. But now, going to be down 5 rounds to 0 this half. They are going to be able to buy again. That's 2 1 versus 1s for Menace now. It could have very big effects on this match. And HMP, is he going to be able to get that op out again? Yes, he is. I just want to highlight the point you were saying once again over at middle. If Unleashed can keep doing that, their mid wasn't looking too bad. Son, HMP can't get any of these cross shots at mid going. But yeah, I'd like to see them keep going back to that.
Yeah, no, definitely throws an interesting look on their T side. And, oh, Azlak actually pushed up to Xbox right now, looking towards lower. Looks like Daddy realizes as he's just kind of slowly shoulder peeking in. They actually get rid of him, or rather the smoke dissipating is going to mean his time has come to depart, but looks like they will be smoking off the catwalk on that CT side, so preventing some aggression there. And oh, another pick. HMP, just such an impact player on this map specifically. I hope that we continue to see that off play, but and I'm sure we will, but at least here and now, proven to be very effective as on that CT side. Big reason that they had that scoreline. Now on the T side, if you can have an opera that gets entries like that, that's definitely going to work well for you. But they're taking the B bomb site right now, and I don't know if Sunny knows this. He's going to be walking in the window, and to a terrible surprise, a bullet to the brains, and Unleashed, they're able to get their first T round in, and it's about time as the CTs, unfortunately for them, yeah, they got 5 rounds in a row, but they were expensive enough that, look at the money on the CT side. They're going to have to, they're force buying. They've got 3 from us just so they can get a decent nade set, and that's always going to favor the Ts, considering they've got AKs and, once again, HMP with that op.
And this is where, on these rounds, you could really bully that middle, because Menace has to throw something back if you smoke up mid to CT, and throw a couple of flashbangs over it, forces a reaction, and Menace doesn't have the nades to spend here. And yeah, tribute to how many frags Unleashed was getting, although they went down 5-0, forcing force buy right after they win 1. Very important round for Menace. They want to keep their streaky CT play alive. We haven't seen a lot of love at long for either of these two teams, but now Menace with the minor adjustment, bringing 2 players over here. They like to have that catwalk just play on the close angle. The smoke is going to dissipate, and Unleashed is going to start opening up here. They got all 3 players at middle with the 1 player on each wing of the map. Now they're going to start opening up. What a shot by HMP. Catches reflex jumping. Now this forces Menace to play only 1-1. 1 at long and 1 in the site. If this long player goes down, that should be it. Azlak getting overrun inside the site. Good flashbang, but they're all blind, just spraying on top of the box. Now Juhab all alone at long. He's going to get flanked in just a second. And Landy does that. And now Menace with 2 up. This is going to be a 4 or a save round if they lose this after. This is looking bad for Menace, as Unleashed now have members at both catwalk and long. Menace looks like they're just looking for exits here.
Yeah, Joel's able to drop 1 on Cat. It means he's able to exchange, grabs an AK-47, take that trade any day of the week. Might as well. So we'll fall off, though, as Sunny's just going to hold outside a long A, hoping to find an AK of his own. But it will be saving to save those, yeah, just use those weapons in the next round here. Unleashed, though, moving themselves up to 13 rounds. So Menace, they're having a decent comeback on the CT side, but this is really where the difference comes in terms of now Unleashed. They've put 2 on the board, and it's enough to completely break the economy of Menace. And it wouldn't actually surprise me to see the CT side just force behind this with upgraded pistols or something just to keep them on 13. But it also makes sense to save just because, again, they don't really have the monetary situation to throw around. But I think keeping them on 13 would be great for them. And Sunny, he's going to take 1 down, but the trade comes in, and Unleashed, name of the game right now. Just get the trades in. They're pushing anywhere. They're pushing as a unit. And that's actually, as I speak, though, Menace going to get a frag that was not traded. So, unfortunately for... Oh, but Juhab missed that. HE grenade takes him down, and it will be a 3v3 as they are taking up long. Joel's is the closest one to the action. And luckily for the CT side, the one with the rifle in his hands. But T's don't look like they're completely committed to this push. The only issue is that they've got reflex already pushed into T spawn.
And Juhab, that car there, just littered with shrapnel. 3 nades. And Unleashed, if they're waiting at long here this long, they have to start worrying about the flank. And Menace is bringing 1 member in. But I'm wondering if he's thinking, has Unleashed already crossed or what? But Unleashed is still remaining all 3 of their players at long. Going to go for the cross here. 1 player to beat in the CT. Joel's not bringing his head up and down, making himself a difficult target. But Unleashed has taken the bomb site. They don't know Azlak is just lurking about here. He can't find the planter, and he gives away his position. Had Unleashed went for the catwalk plant, that would have been real tough. But Reflex comes from the long, picks up a fallen AK, and kills both of the Unleashed players unsuspecting. That flank eventually came through and Unleashed there, that's one of the issues. If you wait that long and don't have anybody else falling back just to provide some more light around the map to say, that can happen. And all he needed right there. I didn't think he was going to have much of an effect on the flank, but because he only had a pistol, but there was a lot of AKs around there, and just like that, Menace keep them on 13, as you were saying, and they didn't have to spend much money to do it.
Yeah, now they're actually in a pretty good spot, considering this is basically make or break. This round specifically could bring them back into basically, well, they can make it to 12 after this round. If they're able to win this would put the other team on eco. They could make it 13 to 12, and then the T side still has a rifle round or two left in them. But Menace is definitely closer than they were last round, which makes sense, obviously, as they have further things in their favor. But now, how do they hold? They're actually not playing mid at all on the CT side. Aslak is playing, well, I guess technically you could say he's spotting CT mid, but he is playing in a way that he actually falls towards long A. So right now, completely open real estate is middle here, and Tease is actually peeked out in a way that he doesn't have all the information, but he can at least see who's crossing, and Reflex actually will come into the picture. Waltz is into CT spawn. They do have Sunny as well in a position where it actually looks like he was wanting to flash in a teammate, but would have been a good play, as now we see HMP pushed out in a way that if Reflex peeks at all, this could be the last peek of his round, and they're peeking out in a way, again, that Aslak needs to be worried as well. He's actually perfectly in line with the crosshair of this Opera, and he's gonna, oh, he just barely misses a shot. Nice shoulder peeks, but again, I don't know why you do it without smoking. I realize, wow, HMP. Never mind. He's going to shut me up immediately, and they're taking it to the B site.
That is nuts. He's playing like the op hasn't been nerfed. The way he's slide peeking like he is, just doing a little shimmy. Really nice stuff. Something we don't see as much. They got to get the bomb down. Okay, they are doing it. Menace, Juhab, 1-on-2, coming quickly from the tunnels, hoping to catch somebody off guard. Oh, thought it was a flashbang, and now he's all smoked up. That should be it. Do we have another smoke on Unleashed? No, we don't. So Menace is going to have to wait so long. Tries to flash through the smoke. Easy flash to dodge. And HMP, with I don't know how many triple kills he's gotten thus far in this match.
I thought for sure when they didn't smoke CT spawn, they were dead there. I was like, how are they doing this? They're running up B ramp, and then HMP just like 2 quick frags with that op. And unfortunately, I was missing it as I was watching his teammates get slaughtered, but he's able to make the difference.
Yeah, he's playing like the op hasn't been nerfed. That's the main thing that's changed about the op is your ability to slide people and scope in, and he's making up for it by pre-firing perfectly. If you could still do that, because with the old op you could peek out, still have time to make an adjustment, but with the new op you have to predict where that player is going to be. Otherwise, you're going to lose that duel. But he's somehow winning it on the opper who's posted up, and that is impressive.
Certainly, and he's going to be posted up top mid right now. Hasn't been able to find anything as of yet, and it's because of the way the CTs are playing that they've got 2 tag teams going on. They've got one in Upper Dark right now and one on Catwalk on the stairs. They've got their number 7 man Aslak just holding a long A, so he's going to be tested in just a moment as 3Ts will push out, and he's going to flash out, but that gives away his position, and he doesn't necessarily get anything for it. And he now peeks up, but still hasn't found a frag. There we go. He will be able to connect with one, but very low himself. He at least has Reflex in a position where he's got an op towards long, so if anybody tries to jump to take him on a pit, they actually they have a small window of time where, yeah, there's HMP getting dropped, and certainly if there's one of the players you want to drop, it's the one.
Uzu on the Reflex. That was the AWP inside of the site. That was going to be it. If Menace could just hold on to that AWP, they should have been able to hold on to the site. But Unleashed has gotten the bomb down. Both Menace members are coming from the catwalk. Unleashed taking a very forward position. Oh, that's Uzu. He puts his teammate in a predicament here. 1-on-2. Playing the off angle. Does he know both are catwalk? No, he's worried about somebody coming from the ramp. Peeks out. And both of them have now adjusted to the ramp. So he's going to have to make this work. Takes the one. Down to a 1-on-1 now. Gotta beat Joel. Has 13 HP, and it goes to Menace. He's not going to have a kit, but it's not going to matter. Going to be able to get the defuse. And Unleashed. Faltering there. That was somewhat... Menace just hung on to an AWP, and Unleashed continued to press out of long when They took the AWP down, so that was my main concern. I guess it was the right decision after they got that op down. But should have had a much cleaner round. And to decide to rush out long like that, considering Menace's economical situation, I don't like it all that much. But Unleashed now on the force, not forcing, but buying a couple pistols. Where are they going to go?
Looks like the main pressure towards Upper Dark. Bomb's still in T-spawn. They've got the number 2 player just going into long A house. He's probably just going to camp there for a good duration of the round. But wait for some sort of aggression, as the rest of the team not really grouped up. Usually on an eco, you want to stay together a little bit. Power numbers. You don't have the equipment advantage, so you make up for it by throwing multiple people in one player's face. But actually going to be looking out mid. And yeah, they don't have a smoke for this, so you can see Joel is just going to have a bit of a heyday. Starts off with the first frag. That actually will prompt the T's to head back through mid. And back into Upper Dark. And looks like their number 2 is swapped up from the long A spot. Now he's just going to be holding on Catwalk. So they still have time to play with, but any which way they look, they've got multiple CTs on the A-bomb site. They've got 3. One still at long A. But looks like that is going to be the area of choice to get Juhab trying to hold from the cross. And he's going to take 1, but HMP finds his head, acting like he's still got an op in his hands, and they're going to find Reflex, though, in Goose, and he's going to make up for that frag, and finds 3 himself. So Menace, not out of this yet. They're in a situation where, technically, they're still in an okay spot. They're a little bit in last chance territory, being that, obviously, if they lose a round, they don't necessarily have the economy to rebuy, but they're still not out of it.
Yeah, in theory, they got to win 3 gun rounds here, including this one, and Unleashed will be put away. Unleashed is getting around here and there, unable to string a bunch together. Considering the half was 11-4, I believe. That is nice by Menace to bring it back like this. Unleashed here. I do have the op in the hands of HMP. He is their star right now. And opening grenade takes out T's. So HMP here. He's got to be the guy in my book to somehow bring this round back. They're not having him peek middle at all. Where's the op on the CT side? It looks like Joel's is posted over at B. So HMP might have some success working this op at long. Doesn't have any teammate with him. Now falling back towards the middle, grouping up with a majority of their players. Problem being here, Menace is playing middle very soft. On a lot of rounds, they don't really play anybody there at all. They got one member, Reflex, in the CT spawn, but he's peeking in which way that the op of HMP is not going to be able to do anything. So Unleashed does have the mid smoke up, but they're just hoping somebody peeks them. Here they come, out mid. HMP actually misses a shot, and that's a big one. The CT stays alive in the site. Now everybody from Unleashed is getting ruined. They try to take out middle as well as B. Not one kill for Unleashed and HMP. Too many CTs all over them. So there's the first gun round they needed to win. Going to be another save here from Unleashed, then another gun round. After that, Menace, you know, they're on their way to taking this one.
Yeah, they're on the comeback indeed, and the way Reflex is holding CT spawn, I like it. There's a number of ways you can boost on the boxes, and that's actually one that, I'm going to be honest, I've never seen anybody on that left side double stack, so I believe he required a boost to get up there. I don't think you can get up there by yourself, but he's got a very small area to look over, and that's good work from him. But here comes a B rush. Unleashed. They find one frag onto Sunny, and actually might be... they don't have a smoke for doors. If they had any kind of smoke to get some sort of pressing... Oh, and I'm pretty sure Landit thought he grabbed the bomb there.
Sucks.
Yeah, now they're going to have to go back to Xbox just to get this. And that smoke was whiffed a little bit from Darty, and falls just... Yeah, that was not a good round, unfortunately, for Unleashed.
Man. What is that? If of all the nerfs that need to happen, you know, or not nerfs, but alterations that need to be made to the game, why has that one not been done? If you're running with a bomb on your back and you die, how does it go vertical?
It
just flies in the air. Like it's like the last dying play by anybody who's getting shot is not to throw a bomb in the air.
Yep.
Come on, Val.
That's interesting.
You ruin my op, but you make the bomb have a mind of its own. I don't know, but makes for some interesting things to happen. Unleashed would have got the bomb plant there. You could see them struggling to look for it, but at that point they realized, okay, we're not getting this down. If we're gonna go for the bomb, they're gonna kill us. So we might as well try to get some kills out of it. And they try it, but they only get a couple. Now Unleashed. Last chance here before Menace brings it to the tie round. What a comeback it's been for the Menace side. They do trade out at long. Reflex with the AWP is going to have to fall off. But Unleashed now have control, at least, of the beginning of long. They still yet to get a player into pit. Is the CT looking to prevent that? Yeah, Azlak. Actually have 3 AWPs. Whoa. Couple of smokes. Oh, Azlak misses. Now the site's going to get overwhelmed. Nobody from Menace can even peek the catwalk. So this is going to be the site for Unleashed. Problem being, they can't have this long player peek. All he has to do is get into pit. If Tease gets into pit and Unleashed holds the catwalk, that should be the round for them. And they are going to try to hold on to the catwalk. 2 members from Menace on the approach.
Oh, man, and the first frag going to the T side. Not working out so far. Jules finds a frag, but with only 9 HP left. And finds himself now as the only player left. And he's going to be on catwalk. He's going to have to fall back. So, big round coming in from Unleashed. They drop 4 in a row, but when it matters, they get their round on the board. And this will guarantee tie territory, overtime territory, if you will. But we'll be moving to round 30, and Unleashed will be up 1 single round. And it'll come down to this.
How many ops did they buy, too? Because look at their money. Like, that was really risky. 2 other players below 4,000.
On CT side, yeah, they had 2 ops on the field there. So, definitely a bit of an expensive round for them.
They had 3.
Oh, did they have 3?
Yeah, they had 3.
Interesting. All right, the triple dragon. Interesting. And Dustu, probably one of the only maps where you could even consider that to be viable, just because of how the lanes are set up, but they're not able to make it work. And HMP, leave it to him, opens up the round, gets dropped down to 2 HP, but it doesn't matter, as he will take down the enemy op, and they're able to get it back on another player, as they still have 2 ops in the field, but that's a huge pickup, and the fact that HMP is just still alive, and again, he's with an AWP. It's not a huge deal that he's on 2 HP. Of course, he'd love to have more, but that's why the glass cannon exists. It's not a huge deal when you can hit 1 shot, take down players.
Yeah, as long as you get that shot off before the aim punch comes in, and you're looking all right. HMP again with 2 HP. Teammates taking out a long. Team Menace. If they lose this long, they lose the game. Right here. It comes down to this. Who are these 2 CTs here that are getting flashbanged out of position? Ozu onto Azlak with only reflex with his AWP. And he's going to get pressed upon very soon. He does get the second one. The trade. Oh, aim punch makes him miss the op shot. But they do a significant amount of damage. But down goes Joel's to the hands of Tease, leaving only Sunny. And he's going to be running through the flames on catwalk, singeing his legs, eats a nade, down to 13 HP, and Unleashed. Looks like they're going to be moving on to Cash. HMP, fitting that he gets the final kill. Take a look at that. 1 frag away from a 30 bomb. If HMP can bring that up into the next game, Menace is in trouble, because this was Menace's map choice.
Yeah, and on Cash, if you can lock things down with that AWP and such, there's just a lot of ways that it affects the map. So we'll see how that plays out, but it will be Unleashed taking their map. Not their map choice. Sorry, Menace was the one that picked Dust 2. So Unleashed choosing Cash. We'll see if they can make things work on their map number 2. But guys, we're going to take a very short break. When we return, another map in this best of 3. Don't go far.